Start, Manda.
So 2 minutes will start, sir.
Huh.
Shall we start, sir, with your kind permission, sir?
Khandita, sir. Barabar.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Good morning to all. Welcome for today's session, a national webinar series 2, Samprabodhana 2020, day 22nd, and the lecture series is 22. Today we have a session on Artha Vinishchayakrama in Samhita Adhyayana, be taken by Dr. Sri Nagesh K.A., the professor in HOD, Department of Samhita Siddhanta, Sri Sri Ayurveda College, Bangalore. I welcome you all for the today's session. Let's begin for the prayer. Ragadi Rogan, Sadatana Shaktana, Sheshakaya Prasutana Sheshan, Ausukya Mohar, Hidan Jagana, Yopur Vaitya, Namostu Tasmai. We bow head to all the Vaityas and the great Vaityas also. Let's begin for the today's session with welcome. First and the foremost, in my privilege to welcome with his blessing, His Holiness Sriman Niranjana Pranava Swarupi Guru Mahanta Swamiji, as event is started with his blessing. Swagataha. I welcome the SVMAMC Sangha Chairman, Sri M.G. Patan Shetty sir, the Secretary, Sri Dilip Devgirkar sir, all the board members for providing an opportunity and supported to organizing this national webinar series 2, Samprabodhana 2020. I welcome you, sir. I welcome our today's speaker, Dr. Sri Nagesh K.A., the professor and HOD, Department of Samhita Siddhanta, Sri Sri College of Ayurvedic Science and the Research Hospital, Bangalore. I welcome you, sir. Sir is going to deliver a talk on Artha Vinishchayakrama in Samhita Adhyayana. I welcome today's our event president, Dr. K.C. Das, the principal and the professor, SVM Ayurvedic Medical College, PG Research Center, ILKAL, for his kind advice and supported for the organizing this national webinar series 2, Samprabodhana 2020. I welcome you, sir. I welcome our event organizer, Dr. Mahantesh R. Sajjan Shetty, sir, the professor in HOD, Department of PG Studies in Samhita Siddhanta, SVM Ayurvedic Medical College, PG Research Center, ILKAL. And one more, Dr. P.H. Katti, sir, the professor, the Department of PG Studies in Samhita Siddhanta, SVMAMC, and the PG Research Center, ILKAL. I welcome you both of the organizer. I welcome event coordinator for their kind-hearted support conducting in the national webinar series 2, Samprabodhana 2020. I welcome you. I welcome all the teaching staff, non-teaching staff, PG and UG scholars, internees of SVMAMC, PG Research Center, ILKAL, for being the part of the today's webinar series 2. I welcome you. I welcome the Department of PG Studies in Samhita Siddhanta, Sri Sri College of Ayurvedic Sciences and the Research Hospital, Bengaluru. Being a part of the today's session, I welcome you. I welcome the teaching staff, PG scholars, UG scholars of other institutions, especially SDM College of Ayurveda and Hospital, Udupi, Sri Sri College of Ayurvedic Sciences and Research Hospital, Bengaluru, SVM Ayurvedic Medical College and the PG Research Center, ILKAL, being a part of today's session and the participants. I welcome you all for the today's session, one and all. Thank you. Let's begin for the introductions of the today's speaker.
Jai Gurudev.
Good morning to all. It's a great pleasure and introduce today's speaker, myself, Dr. G.N. Kannolli. So Dr. Sri Nagesh K.A. Sir belongs to the place Sahyadri. We know it is a Kendra belt. Saihyo appe saihyo si gire papanam astu tattata achalastvam chalasi yan manasaha tat na rochate. So Sahyadri is the place which is rochana to all the people like Trividwar. Sir is a native with the Sagar, Shimoga district. Sir had pursued UG and the PG from the RGHS University, Bengaluru. Sir pursued MA Sanskrit from Karnataka Sanskrit University, Chamrajpet, Bengaluru. Sir also pursued PhD in Samhita from Bharati Vidyapit Deemed University, Pune. Sir had an experience in the teaching for the UG since 13 years, for the PG teaching since 5 years. Sir has published various articles in international journals and also the newspapers. Sir has given talk and programs in TV programs, radio programs, Akashvani and the FM channels. Sir had associated in editor in the Journal of Ayurvedic and Integrated Medical Sciences and International Journal, and also for the peer reviewer in many journals also. Sir had a recognized UG and the PG examiner for the many universities, the southern and the central India. Presently, Sir is serving as a professor and HOD in the Department of PG Studies in Ayurveda Samhita Siddhanta, Sri Sri College of Ayurvedic Sciences and Research Hospital, Bengaluru. I welcome you, sir, with a great honor and a pleasure for the today's session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Sajjan Shetty, sir, Dr. All the management, as well as the principal, Dr. K.C. Das, sir. And I thank all other faculty members and all other participants. Myself, Dr. Sri Nagesh, would like to address you regarding Artha Vinishchayakrama in Samhita Adhyayana. So why this is essential in this present context is, we know that all subjects are based on Samhita, and Samhita Adhyayana itself has become such a challenging matter now that people are facing a difficulty in realizing the actual meaning. They're expecting as if the Samhita should express the meaning directly as it is explained in the modern literatures now. So which is not actually the way Samhita has been explained. There are various ways to understand the Artha in Samhita. And while reading Samhita, we must know about different aspects through which the meaning has to be derived. There are so many methods Samhitakaras have followed that we have to follow them, and we have to understand through the way they have explained it. Hence, we need to understand the Artha Vinishchayakrama in Samhita Adhyayana. Before concluding the Artha, we have to go through the various aspects of Samhita, Artha Vinishchayakrama in Samhita. Because there are different ways which are indicating the different meanings in the same line. And for that reason, we must have that insight of reading the meaning of what Tantrakara is making it, in what way he is trying to explain it. That is most essential for us. Hence, let's begin with the same prayer. Ragati rogan satatan shattan asheshakaya prasrutan asheshan autsukya moha ratidan jadhana purva vaidyaya namostu tasmai. Saluting my gurus, I would like to start with the introduction. The thing is, what is Samhita? The first point. Hope you can change the slides. As and when the matter comes, you can go on changing the slides, please. Because I could not connect it through the laptop, so I'm requesting you to make it. I'll share the PPT. So the Samhita, what is the Samhita here, first of all? It is explained in Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi, Parah Sannikarsha Samhita. Varnanam Atishayata Sannidhi Samhita Samdasyat. Samhita is actually the critical combination, or it is a compilation of various varna, various aspects of a subject, and it has been made in such a finer way that it is well entangled with all the sutras and all the concepts with it. So this is brought into one place, whichever are the relevant texts, whichever are the relevant points have been brought together and placed at one point. We call it as Samhita. What is Artha actually? Because we are making Artha Vinishchaya. Artha is having the different meanings here. Vishaya, Dhana, Karanam, Vastu, Shabda Pratipadhyaha, Nivrittihi, Prayojanam. Next slide. So here, Artha is actually a Prayojana for what we are beginning with our Pravritti. So Artha has got different meanings. That it can be in the form of a financial benefit, it can be in the form of any materialistic benefit, and there are different types of. Please change the slide. Next. Yeah. So here, actually, for what purpose a person initiates his action, that purpose is called as Artha. Here, Artha is given the different Swarupa in different aspects of our life, like Artha is given as a Dhana. Artha is in the form of a vastu, like in attainment of some position or something. Like that, all these are coming under the meaning of the Artha. Here, Samhita Adhyana, while Samhita Adhyana Krama as well as Artha Vinishchayakrama, when we are talking about, here Artha means it is about what meaning that word and the sentences are conveying. For that purpose, we have to go through the various aspects of the Artha Vijnana. Please go to the next slide. Artha Vijnanam is Artha Vijnanam Shushrusha Sarvanam Chaiva Grahanam Dharanam Tatha Uhopaho Artha Vijnanam Tattvajnana Dhiguna. So the qualities of a Buddhiman person is to accumulate the various knowledge attained through by the caring of some person like Guru or the known persons, Shravana and the Grahana, the perception and listening, as well as the Dharana means to adopt it and understand. Uhopaho, that means so many features has to be, so many points has to be analyzed and understood. Some few has to be imagined and understood. So there are different types of collective knowledge, we call it as Artha. So all these are the different types of Artha. Whereas the Buddhiman person will be accumulating the knowledge from all these sources. They are not following any one source of knowledge here. They are following all these sources and doing it. So in Alankara Shastra, they say Vachya, Lakshya and Vyangyartha. Like that, there are different types of Artha. Artha itself has got a meaning in different classics. Like in Alankara Shastra, as it is said, Vachyartha, Lakshyartha and Vyangartha. Like that, they do. So they express it. Even in our Pramanas also, we have that Arthopadesha Pramana we have and Shabda Pramana also we have. The Shabda Pramana, by the way you pronounce, how the meaning changes, the perception of meaning changes also can be understood. So those aspects we are not dealing with here, because that is going beyond the scope of this presentation. So I'm not making few of them. Before going to the presentation, I would like to say there were few limitations I could not cross through because it was going too far beyond the scope of this presentation. There are plenty of other things I have just introduced and left. So just have to follow those points. There are different ways how we have to make I'm trying to explain it here. Mainly in our classics, how they have made it. Here actually, take for example, Charaka Samhita itself. In Charaka Samhita, it is actually in the form of a conversation between the Shishya and the Guru. So before the Guru starts, as you have seen, Athato, Dirgan Jivitiyam Adhyayam Kasyama, like that it starts, Athato, Ayushkamiyam Adhyayam, it is said, Atha when they speak, Atha when they speak, Atha and Atha when they speak. So they are actually, after the Shishya makes the question, he puts the question in front of the Guru, and as an answer to that, he starts explaining. And here, actually, to gain the Artha, how a bishop has to ask to the bishop. Here, the Shishya is also a bishop only, and Guru is also a bishop only. And even otherwise, when we are also asking something about the knowledge, we are supposed to ask in the same way. पृष्ठेन एतद् वक्तव्यम् अशेषेण वाक्यशो वाक्यार्थशो अर्थावयवश्चेति. So when the question is made through this one, vakyashaha, vakyarthashaha, and artha avayavashaha, these are the 3 points which I am going to explain it today, how it has to be made it here. When it is asked so, it should be explained in the same way of vakyashaha, vakyarthashaha, and artha avayavashaha. So that vakyashaha, how it has arrived, it is to be explained first. Vakyashaha. Tantram arsham kasnena yatham nayam uchyamanam vakyasho bhavatyuktam. Vakyasha iti swayameva vyakarishyati yatha patakramena uchyamanam. So vakyashaha means how it is explained, narrated in the classics, in the same way we have to read it. So it has to be read, making the proper division of the words, proper connectivity we have to make with Visheshana and Visheshya. Visheshana and Visheshya means here, Visheshana means it is an adjective which is attributed to a noun or that is a Namapada or a Sarvanamapada. So we have to connect it so relevantly so that the meaning is derived properly. To derive those things, we should have the idea of the pada first. Without knowing the pada, we cannot write any, or we cannot read also properly. And once we are unable to find the pada itself, then we cannot understand the meaning of the total sentence. So total sentence means it is actually, pada is the unit of the sentence. But hence we need to know it. So the pada samoha is called as pada. So one shloka, usually what we have in our classics, the shloka has got four pada, and that pada samoha we call it as a vakyartha shloka. And here we have to understand the importance of these pada and making the relativity with the actual the word, the noun, that is Visheshana, Visheshya, which is the basic essentiality to understand the meaning. So to understand that first pada, what is pada and pada artha? Example I have quoted here, that basti and vasti, the two words which is given. This is quite easier to explain, so I have taken this word. Basti, bastina diyate iti. That is, basti is the procedure, as you all know. We are administering the medicine using a basti, using one urinary bladder. So when we are using the urinary bladder, we call it as a basti. The ba letter is used. Whereas another one, vasti word is used. Vasti, that is vasanivase. That means one which can accommodate. That means a fluid or the kashaya or the sneha dravya, what you are collecting it in the bag, that is in the basti, and administering, that sheltering that liquid or the sneha, that sheltering is called as, the one which gives the shelter is called as the vasti. Hence, if we are not using the urinary bladders, if we are using any bag, if we are using any rubber bag or any other alternate apart from the urinary bladder, even the syringes also, then it is actually accommodating the liquid or the sneha in general. So that is called as vasti. So when vasti word is used, the vasti, that means the urinary bladder which is accommodating the vasti dravya also becomes vasti because it is also accommodating. Whereas vasti cannot be called as vasti because vasti specifically used when urinary bladder is brought into practice. If urinary bladder is not brought into practice, if we are using any the syringes or the enema cans or something which is accommodating that liquid, we are supposed to call it as vasti only. So these are the different meanings the word convey, and hence we have to identify the pada properly. Another word, varuna, is there. Vrunoti is the dhatu. Vrunoti achhadati. Vrunvarane is the dhatu. Vrunoti is the meaning actually. The dhatu artha is vrunoti. Vrunoti or achhadati, making the achhadana. And the same Vrunvarane is used as for Varuna word also, Vrana word also, Avarana word also, which makes the Achadana. Like the clouds are making Achadana over the sky. That is why that rain, we call it as Varuna. And Vrana is making the Achadana of that area where it is injured. We call it as Vrana. Avarana means it is making Achadana of the dosha, which is Gatiman, and that we call it as Avarana. Hence, keeping this word itself, we are understanding the different swarupa of that using the same base, that is the dhatu and dhatvartha. We can understand the different meanings here. So the word we have to identify first, and its meaning has to be derived. Importance of identifying the pada. See, one shloka I have displayed it here. Balavat swalpadosheshu jara sadhyo anupadravaha. If we try to divide this first one, balavat swalpadosheshu, if we make it, another one, if we try to divide it as balavatsu alpadosheshu, which one is correct? I have marked it already. You can see balavat cannot be the word at all, because see, here comes the importance of visheshana and visheshya. Here Visheshana, that is adjective, is the bala, whereas Vishesha, which is accommodating, acquiring that adjective, is the dosha. Hence, whatever the vibhakti the Visheshya has, the Visheshana shall have the same vibhakti, shall be following the same vibhakti. And when they follow it so, balavatsu is the proper word. Hence, balavatsu alpadosheshu is the proper division of the word. So pada vibhaga is made properly in this way. Otherwise, balavat swalpadosheshu, if you make it, then it becomes wrong because balavat word do not come in any of the vibhaktis. Balavatsu is the word which is coming and also following the same vibhakti, and because of the vibhakti sadharnya, balavatsu alpadosheshu is the proper meaning. Hence, the classification of this division of this word should be properly made. Another one, snehascha dhatun samshushkan pushnati ashu prayojitaha. Here, pushnati ashu prayojitaha word is used. Ashu means rapidly. Now, samshushka dhatu will be made sneha, by made poshana when sneha is used rapidly. If this meaning is taken, then it looks as if when rapidly we use the sneha, then samshushka dhatu will be made poshana properly. So, but actually, in fact, instead of putting that ashu word into the prayojita, if we apply that ashu word to the pushnati, then ashu pushnati prayojitaha meaning comes. That means when sneha is used, then it does poshana rapidly is a proper meaning. Otherwise, what will happen? Sneha does the poshana properly when it is rapidly used. Here, rapid meaning should not be applied for the prayojana because rapidly used doesn't have a proper sensible meaning. So, when prayojana, when it is properly used, it does the poshana rapidly. That is more relevant meaning. So we are moving to the next level of identifying the Vakyashaha. Example, like it is shloka displayed, Ayuhu Kamayamanena Sukhasadhanam Ayurvedopadesheshu Vidheyah Paramadaraha. Here, first point is, while reading the Padavibhaga when we are making, we are supposed to divide the Sandhi. Otherwise, we should not be dividing the Sandhi while reading the shloka continuously. Like Ayuhu Kamayamanena Dharmartha Sukhasadhanam Ayurvedopadeshu. Here, Ayurveda Upadesheshu is there. So don't split it while reading it continuously. But while making Padavibhaga, you are that means when you are understanding, trying to understand by dividing it, then you divide. Otherwise, there is no Sandhi. Ayurvedopadesheshu is a single word. So don't cut it off, but that is Padavibhaga or Sandhi Vichcheda. You should not try to make it everywhere. Once you have understood the padas properly, then should not divide it. Read it continuously. Ayuhu Kamayamanena Dharmartha Sukhasadhanam Ayurvedopadesheshu Videyah Paramadaraha. So then after making a pada, that is Ayuhu Kamayamanena, like that, then we are completing the two pada or one line completely. Ayuhu Kamayamanena Dharmartha Sukhasadhanam, then Ayurvedopadesheshu Videyah Paramadaraha. What actually I am trying to say is the way how to pronounce the shloka, how to learn the shloka. Pada wise, we have to learn it first. Ayuhu Kamayamanena, Ayuhu Kamayamanena, Ayuhu Kamayamanena, like that. Dharmartha Sukhasadhanam, Dharmartha Sukhasadhanam, Dharmartha Sukhasadhanam, like that. Then Ayurvedopadesheshu, 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 Videyah Paramadaraha, Videyah Paramadaraha, Videyah Paramadaraha, like that we do. Once we are done with this pada wise pronunciation, then the whole line having the two pada should be pronounced at once. Ayuhu Kamayamanena Dharmartha Sukhasadhanam, Ayuhu Kamayamanena Dharmartha Sukhasadhanam. Like that 3 times we have to pronounce. Then go to the next line, that Ayurvedopadesheshu Videyah Paramadaraha, Ayurvedopadesheshu Videyah Paramadaraha. Like that we have to make. Then complete shloka should come in one breath. Ayuhu Kamayamanena Dharmartha Sukhasadhanam Ayurvedopadesheshu Videyah Paramadaraha. Once you make it in one breath, one inspiration, if you are able to make it Ayuhu Kamayamanena, complete shloka in one breath, if you are make it, then that shloka comes to you very comfortably and it becomes stable. Next one, we'll move on to the Vakyarthashaha. Here what Vakyarthashaha they are telling. Buddhya Samyat Anupravishyartha Tattvam Vagbir Vyasa Samasa Pratigna Hetu Udaharana Upanaya Nigamana Yujyatabhir Trivida Shishya Buddhi Gamyabhihe Uchyamanam Vakyarthasho Bhavatyuttam. Here, say for Trivida Shishya Buddhi, that is for Hina Madhyama and Uttama Buddhi Shishya, Vakyarthashaha is the one, in fact, which is making the difference. That means the previous one, Vakyashaha, is by default it is expected even for the Hina Buddhi persons also. That means Vakyarthashaha should be in such a way that it should be understood by all the 3 people. That means Hina Buddhi person also should be able to understand Vakyarthashaha. That means if you are unable to understand Vakyashaha itself, if you are unable to divide the shloka itself, then you are ineligible to go to the next level of understanding the meaning. So Trivida Shishya Buddhi, it is Vakyarthashaha in fact. So by pronouncing it differently, Vyasa Samasataha, that means we are making it this Samasata Pada, we are making it, that means collectively we are placing that word at one place and trying to understand. Vyasataha means we are dividing the words and understanding it, then applying the Pratigna Hetu Drishtanta Upanaya Nigamana, that is we are applying Panchavayava here for the Vakya. That means we are giving out the reasons why it is happening. So all these should be applied, and that is how the Vakyarthashaha we are making it here. So how we have to make it in Vyasa Samasataha, all these I'm going to explain. Pratigna Hetu Drishtanta Adi Panchavayava I am not going to explain it here because this is known to you. the importance of the Anvayakrama here, we are making it. How one Anvayakrama is giving out the different meanings. The shloka follows. Doshaha pravruddhaha swam lingam darshayanti yathabalam kshina jahati lingam swam samaha swam karma kurvate. So the shloka is from the Charaka Sutra. So we are making it as pravruddhaha doshaha swam lingam yathabalam darshayanti kshinaha doshaha swam lingam jahati samaha doshaha swam karma kurvate. That means what we have made the rearrangement of the shloka. Pravruddha doshas, they swamlingam yathabalam darshanti. They make the expression of their lakshanas as per their bala. Then kshina doshaha swamlingam jahati. Kshina doshas will leave off their symptoms. Sama doshaha swam karma kuru. Their sama doshas will do their respective job or their karma, they does it. Then we are trying to make it, rearranging it little more, because there is one order given in the same chapter, that is 17th chapter, Kshaya Sthanasya Vriddhischa Doshanam Trividagati, that is Doshagati. When they are talking, they have made it as Kshaya Sthanasya Vriddhischa. Let's try to put it in this way. Kshinaha doshaha swam lingam jahati, samaha doshaha swam karma kurvate, pravruddhaha doshaha swam lingam yathabalam darsyanti. Like that, I am trying to rearrange it. Now, when I rearrange it, there is another way of rearrangement in the next one. That Kshinaha doshaha swam lingam jahati, samaha doshaha swam karma kurvati, pravruddhaha doshaha yathabalam swam lingam darsyanti. Now, the difference between the last two types are swam lingam yathabalam darsyanti, then yathabalam swam lingam darsyanti, which is the right one and what meaning they are conveying. The swam lingam yathabalam darsyanti, here its own symptom, it is as per the bala of the dosha, it will be expressed. That means their symptoms. Let's take, for example, there are 8 symptoms in a disease. All these 8 symptoms will be expressed as per the bala of the dosha. So its own lakshana will be expressed as per the bala. Maybe in a milder form it can, all the 8 lakshanas. Whereas in the next line, yathabalam swam lingam darsyanti, as per the bala, previously, yathabalam swam lingam darsyanti, as per its bala, its lakshana it is going to express. That means if dosha is balavan, it is going to express all the 8 lakshanas. Or if dosha is not so balavan, it is going to express only 4 or 5 symptoms. Or if it is less bala, it is going to express only 1 or 2 symptoms. Like that, yathabalam swam lingam darsyanti we can understand. Whereas swam lingam yathabalam darsyanti, that it is indicating that it is exhibiting all the symptoms as per its bala. It need not express only few symptoms. The last Noya it is yathabalam swam lingam darsyanti, as per its bala, it is going to express its symptoms. Like that, the difference in the meaning we get it just by resetting their words, which is not wrong. So both are viable meanings only, because in some of the symptoms, some of the diseases, we find all the symptoms together in a minor form. In some diseases, we find that fewer symptoms out of 8 to 10 symptoms, we are observing only 3 to 4 or 4 to 5 symptoms only. So both are viable as per the Anvayakrama. One shloka I'm going to take in the next one. The different types of Anvayakrama, we are making it here. The shloka which is very well known. स्थूलः प्रमेहि बलवानिहैकः कृशस्ततैकः परिदुर्बलश्च संब्रह्मणं तत्र कृशस्य कार्यं संशोधनं दोषबलादिकस्य. This is the Pramehi division as well as the Prameha Chikitsa Sutra first line only. Sambrahmanam tatra कृशस्य कार्यं, that is actually the Prameha Chikitsa Sutra they are making. So how to understand? By disintegrating this shloka, we are trying to make it up to the Bhavartha, we are making it. So there are 2 types of Anvayakramas, Dandanvayakrama and Khandanvayakrama. Danda means actually the stick. Dandanvaya means it is we are going to place it in one line and we are going to understand it by rearranging, just like in the previous shloka we did it. and we are trying to get the answer out of it. So that is called as the Khandanvayakrama. So let's go for the Dandanvayakrama. Let's see how the Dandanvayakrama goes. Pramehi स्थूलः एकः, बलवान् हि एकः, कृशः तथा कृशः एकः, परिदुर्बलश्च एकः. So like that I have made it. The ekaha word is used. That means each type, that is sthula, krisha, and balavan and durbala, there are ekaha word when he is telling, then that is indicating that all these 4 types of patients are available. They are not all are sthula, either sthula or krisha. There are some patients are in the midway. They are neither sthula nor krisha. Some are balavan, some are durbala, and some are in the midway, neither durbala nor balavan. So there are 4 classifications we are making and trying to understand it according to these 4. He is indicating, that is, he is an avyaya actually, avyaya which is used as he vartate, means like this only it is happening. He, when it is used, it has to follow in the same method. This is the same protocol of pramehi. So pramehis will be available in only these 4. Like that we understand it. Now this classification is actually for the pramehi, not the prameha. Pramehi is the prameha rogi. So prameha rogis are like this. So he is giving the chikitsa like sambrahmanam tatra kasasya karyam samshodhanam dosha baladikasya. When he is telling, he is talking about the chikitsa for the pramehi, not the prameha. So sambrahmanam tatra kasasya karyam, he is telling, that means brahmana is the chikitsa in the krusha. Then dosha baladikasya samshodhanam karyam, that means samshodhana is the chikitsa in doshadikya and baladikya. So what it is understood, this meaning is actually holds good in case of patients who cannot be classified under sthula krusha. That means samshodhanam narhati yah pramehi tasya kriya samshamani prayojya. So it is already said. So where samshodhana we have to give, then we have to look into doshadikatva and baladikatva. Now the question comes, he has given only the chikitsa for the krusha as well as the dosha baladika pramehi. What about the sthula pramehi and durbala pramehi then? Then here one point, viparya is one thing. Viparya tantra, you know. So viparya tantra, when we adopt, then sambrahmanam tatra krusasya karyam when they are telling, then for the sthula, it is the langana karma we have to do in sthula pramehi. And dosha baladikasya when they are telling, then durbala pramehi what we have to do, then we have to do the shamana chikitsa. Like that the meaning comes in the viparya tantra. So we are, for further understanding, we are classifying it into further. Sthula pramehi can be durbala also, balavan also. Krisha pramehi can be balavan also, durbala also. Like that we can, because people are, the pramehis are available in the same format. They are not into a specific prototyped pramehi. They can be sthula, they can be krisha, they can be midway. So we have to, if the person is not sthula, if he is krisha, then we can understand it either he is durbala, balavan. If he is in the midway, he is neither sthula nor krisha, then we can just go to the next classification, that is balavan or durbala. If he is in the midway of that also, then what has to be done is the chikitsa next one. So before the further bhavartha, we are going to see the Khandanvayakrama, how to classify it further by the Khandanvayakrama. Here, Khandanvayakrama, Kati Vidani Pramehi bhavanti. How many types of pramehis are present, are available? This is actually for the same shloka. To derive the meaning, we are putting the different questions so that we can derive the meaning out of the same line. How many types of pramehis are present? There are, he is used, the sthula pramehi, kasha pramehi are the types he has already said. Then what chikitsa has to be done to them? Then he has given the chikitsa there. Then for sthula and durbala pramehi, what treatment has to be done? For that also, by the viparya tantra we understood how it has to be done. Then kritecha samshodhanani kim kartavya. What has to be done after giving the samshodhana? That also comes in the same shloka. Next we will go to the bhavartha, how we can derive the bhavartha. In sthula pramehi, let's talk about the sthula pramehi. The same shloka, we try to disintegrate it further and try to understand how to derive the meaning further. In sthula pramehi, dosha is more. That means in sthula pramehi, if the Doshadikatva is there and Baladikatva is also there. Baladikya, Doshadikya. Then go for Samshodhana directly. So because everything is in line, so no issue for them. And once Samshodhana is done, then he is not anyhow he is not a Samshodhana Arha again, then Samshamana Chikitsa has to be done for him. Then if Tula Pramehi, if dosha is more, but the person is Durbala, then increase his Bala and do the Shodhana. Because unless he is Balavan, he is not suitable for the Shodhanartha, then we have to increase his Bala, make him Balavan, then he is coming to the first category only, that is Doshadikya and Baladikya, then do the Shodhana. And after doing the Shodhana, Samshamana is the Chikitsa. Then Stula Pramehi, if dosha is not more, irrespective of Bala, if dosha is not more, then Samshamana only should be done because he is not Arha for the Shodhana at all. This is how we can derive the meaning. The next level is about the Krisha Pramehi. In Krisha Pramehi, if dosha is more, what to do? If dosha is more and Bala is also more, then we can go for Samshodhana and then go for the Santarpana. Urdhvam Tata Adastamale Apnite Meheshu Santarpanameva Karyam it is said, and Samshamana has to be done. So it is the very next line he has said. So connectivity we have to establish and we have to understand that we have to do the Samshodhana because Bala is also more, dosha is also more. Then give the Santarpana because the person is Krisha Pramehi. And do the Samshamana because he has already completed the Shodhana. Now he is Arha for only the Shamanartha. This is the first meaning. Next meaning is in Krisha Pramehi, if dosha is more but the person is Durbala, then what to do? Then give the Santarpana first because he is Krisha and increase his Bala. And then when he attains the Bala, then do the Shodhana. Again, Urdhvam Tata Adashamale Apnite Meheshu Santarpanameva Karyam. Again, Santarpana he would require because he is the Krisha Pramehi and the Shamana Aushadha should be followed anyhow after this because once Shodhana is done, they are not indicated for Samshodhanartha, then Samshamana only will be the Chikitsa soon after. Then the Krisha Pramehi, if dosha is not more, then Samshamana should be done along with the Santarpana. So in short, in all the cases, Samshamana has to be given maybe after the Shodhana or not after the Shodhana. So hence we have to follow it by disintegrating the shloka in this way. In a simpler way I am explaining it, but Bhavartha we can derive it just by one line of that Chikitsa Siddhanta. Then one more shloka I am just trying to explain it. Nati Snigdha Shariraya Tadjat Sneha Virecham. This shloka I usually take it because this is quite easier to explain. Nati Snigdha Shariraya Tadjat Sneha Virecham. Snehotlishta Shariraya Ruksham Tadjat Virecham. This is shloka from Charaka Siddhasthana 6th chapter 9th shloka. Here we get that first one. Ati Snigdha Shariraya Sneha Virecham Nagadjat. If the person is Ati Snigdha, then Sneha Virechana should not be given. Then we get that Nati is there. Nati Snigdha. Na Ati means little only we can take. That means Ishat. So Ishat Snigdha Shariraya Sneha Virechanam Eva Tatyat Eva, that I have made it here. That means the person, if he is little Snigdha also, Sneha Virechana should only be given. Like that it is understandable. Then Snehotlishta Shariraya Ruksham Tatyat Virechanam. If Sneha Utlishta Sharira, then Ruksha Virechana has to be given. Sneha Anutlishta Shariraya Ruksha Virechana Nadatya. This is the Viparaya actually. What I am understanding, when Sneha Anutlesha is there is not so much of Sneha in the Sharira, then Ruksha Virechana should never be given. Like that, there are different meanings we derive out of one line. Hence the total Bhavartha follows in this way. In Ati Snigdha Sharira, Sneha Virechana should not be given. Even in little Snigdha Sharira also, Sneha Virechana should only be given. In Ruksha Virechana should be a choice only when there is a Sneha Utlesha. That means otherwise, we are in clinics, we are giving just if someone is complaining about the constipation, we simply give any powder, that means any Ruksha Virechana, or we give some Kashaya so that the Virechana happens or the motion is triggered. Here, the Ruksha Virechana it will be. If the person is Snigdha, more of a Snigdha, then only the Ruksha Virechana. Otherwise, if he is little Snigdha also, Ruksha also, Snigdha Virechana should only be given. Like that, in Sneha Anuklishta Sharira, Ruksha Vivechana should never be given. Like that, different meanings we can derive. There is another way of Vitirekartha and Anvayartha. So next slide, next look. Vitirekartha. In Shloka, Nahi Atipatita Kalam, Aprapta Kalam va Beshajam Upayujyamanam Yogikam Bhavate. Like that he is telling. So, Atipatita Kalam, Aprapta Kalam va Beshajam Upayujyamanam na Yogikam Bhavate or Yogikam na Bhavate. So when the time crosses or when time has not arrived, if you use the treatment, if you use the Beshaja, that won't be useful, is the thing. So negatively he is telling. Nahi Atipatita Kalam, like that, it won't be useful, like that, negatively he is telling. Anvayartha, when we are making it, Anapatita Kalam, Aprapta Kalam va Beshajam Upayujyamanam Yogikam Bhavate. We are making it as a positive sentence. The first one was a negative sentence. Negative sentence means if you don't give it in this way, then it is not useful. Like that, negatively he is approaching. Whereas in a positive statement, when you use it in a positive way, then it will be useful. Like that he is saying. That also we have to understand. The shloka can be different, like Nahi Atipatita Kalam, Aprapta Kalam. Now the question comes, why he has to use the Vyatireka? Anvayartha only he would have said, no? So directly that if you are using this in a proper way, then it will be useful. He would have said directly. Why to say if you don't use it won't be useful? Why to use the negative sentence? That means he is stressing the importance of kala here. That means don't cross over the time. Don't do it. Don't give the treatment unless the time has come. Like that, he is stressing the importance of time here. If we say simply, you just follow the timings, if we say that may not be that impactful. Whereas if we make it in a negative sentence and that is in a cautionary way when we are telling, then it can be more having impact. So the next one is the Sangatartha. That is, Sangatartha means Pratipaditartha. The relevant meaning should be taken from the shlokas. There's so many things come while reading, like Prakritartha, Deshantarartha, Kalantarartha, Tantrakarturaviprayaha, and Upaya. There are different Sangatarthas are there. That means while discussing, while mentioning the shloka or the context, he follows certain methods. Like according to the situation, he changes the meaning that we don't know for what meaning he has given, that we have to say, we have to see. They are about 5 types. The Sangatarthas are of 5 types. Prakritartha, Deshantarartha, Kalantarartha, Tantrakartura Viprayaha, and Upaya. Let's see what are these. First one is the Prakritartha. Like Sharaha, Kshiram, Phalam, Pushpam, Bhasma, Kailani, Kantakaha, Odbidakana. It is said. While discussing Odbidakana, Kshira word is used. In this context, usually, wherever the Kshira word is used, by default we take the Gokshira. But here, in this context, he is meaning the Smahikshira, because Audbidakana he is talking about. Then Kana Lavanava Chaila Sarshapa Chartanani word he is using. Here he is naming the Chartana Gana. Actually, he is trying to say the Vamaka Gana, in fact, but he is naming Chartana Gana as Vamaka Gana. So like that, he only uses the word relevantly. We have to understand according to the relevance here. So Chardana means actually, the Chardi is a roga, as you know. Vamana is the Chikitsa, as you know. Sarshapa Chardanani, when he is using, these dravya should be used in Chardana when it is said. Then we have to understand here that this is not for the Chardi roga. This is for inducing the Vamana. So Chardana word is used here, of course, but Vamana should be understood here. Next is the Deshantarartha. See, Apamargasya Bijani, like that, he is talking about the Shiro Virechana Dravya. Here, Krimi word he uses. Krimi Vyadha Pasmare Grananasya Pramohake. Like that he is using. Here, he is talking about the Shiro Virechana, and Krimi also should be understood as Shirogata Krimi only, not to understand generalized Krimi. Then, Charaka says at one point, Sarveshu Vidadyar Vidimetamadhyam Vakshami Bastinata Uttariyan. this should not be understood as Uttara Basti. It is to be understood as from here onwards I am going to explain the Basti, which is already known, which is already time tested Basti. I am going to explain. Some people read it as Uttara Basti. Basti Nata Uttariyan word. So Basti Nata Uttariyan means from here onwards I am explaining the Basti. Like that it has to be understood, not to be read as Uttara Basti. Then another one, Sandhichutir Hanustambha Kunchanam Kubjatarditaha. Here, Kunchanam word is used. Kunchana means to flexing of the body, like that it is said. But actually, Kunchana word is used as a Netra Roga by the Madhavakara. But here, they are talking about the Vata Vadi Chikitsa. Here, should be understood as Gatra Kunchana. That means flexion of the Sharira we have to understand. Otherwise, Kunchana word is used as a Netra Roga according to Madhavakara. That should a contextual meaning is here it is a Vata Vadi. Then Kalantarartha Pratigrahascha Upacharayet he is telling. So usually Pratigraha means it is about Grahana means to catch hold of, Pratigraha means to collective accumulation of so many things. But here in Vamana Karma context, he is talking about Pratigraha means the Patra. That means the vessel to be collected. Though Kala Upasprishet word is used in Indriya Upakramaniya, where Sparshana is to touch. Upasparshana means to like the gentle touch or soft touch, like that we understand by the word meaning. But here Upasprishet means it is the snan. So this is, he is talking about the Kala, how we have to take care of the Indriyas. So though Kala Upasprishet means 2 times we have to take the bath, he is telling. So like that the contextual meaning differs. Then Tantra Kartra Vipraya. Sometimes this Tantrakara is suddenly giving the aropana of one meaning to the another one. Like sometimes he gives rasa as guna directly. Then we have to contextually we have to understand that Tantrakarta is trying to call rasa as a guna. Actually, it is not. He is not talking about the guna. He is talking about the rasa only. Like vikaro dhatu vaishamyam is there. Here, dhatu word includes vata dosha also, rasa ati sapta dhatu also, and rajas also. All these are making the dharana karma, hence all these are named, designated as dhatu. This is the Tantrakarta Abhipraya. Okay. Then Upaya, the next one. This is about as per the Tantra Yukti we have to understand. The Tantrakarta Abhipraya, as per Tantra Yukti. Tantra Yukti we will see it in the next context. Tantra Yukti, everything I am not going to explain. This is known and already many occasions you have studied. So Tantra Yukti I am not going to elaborate. Then Artha Avayavasha. This is quite important aspect because this is in reading it comes up as if as a Artha Durga. That means complexity of the meaning it is seen as. How to understand the complexity of the meaning, how to relate it with different situations and derive the meaning is the part of Artha Avayavasha. It is Tantra Niyatanam Artha Durganam Punar Vibhavanair Uktam Artha Avayavasho Bhavati Artha Avayavasho Bhavati Uktam. Specific meaning as per the individual Tantra, then complex meaning, critical and debated meaning. That means we have to understand it by applying, relating with so many things, and we have to derive the meaning. Just giving some of the examples here so that Artha Avayavasha you can understand it. Next slide. Tatra yad urdhva bhagam tat sadhyam virechanopakramaniyattvat bahvaushadhatvat. I am reading the context of the Rakta Pitta. Here Rakta Pitta, Sadhya Sadhyata he is telling, that is Urdhva Rakta Pitta is Sadhya and Adhok Rakta Pitta is Yapya and Ubhayagata Rakta Pitta is Asadhya. They are giving the reason Virecham Upakramaniyattvat Vamanopakramaniyattvat and all, but along with that he is telling one more thing. Alpaushadhatvat Bahuvaushadhatvat. So if we see Urdhva Rakta Pitta is Sadhya, he is telling because of there are Bahu Aushadha available. And Adhoga Rakta Pitta is Yapya because Alpa Aushadha is available. Whereas Vamaka Dravyas are 355 and Virechika Dravyas are 245 numbers. Why are they saying that Alpa Aushadha and Bahu Aushadha then? Because Urdhva Rakta Pitta is Sadhya because of Bahu Aushadha, he said, but Virechana Kalpas are only 245. And Adhoga Rakta Pitta is Yapya, they are telling, whereas Vamaka Dravyas are 355 numbers. Then what is the reason here? Then we have to understand it. Otherwise, though it is explained, this Artha Durgam is explained in Gangadhar Tika, they are talking about the limited Aushadhas based on Rasa. Madhura Peshaja is available. Only that only is useful in Adhoga Rakta Pitta. You can't use remaining 5 types of Rasa. Whereas in Urdhva Rakta Pitta, you have 2 options. Tikta Rasa and Kashaya Rasa, both you can use. You cannot use any other rasa. Remaining 3 rasas you cannot use, but at least you have 2 options of Tikta and Kashaya rasa in Urdhva Rakta Pitta, whereas Adhoga Rakta Pitta you have only 1 option of Madhura rasa. Hence, Alpa Aushadha, Bahu Aushadha, it is understood as. Then, going to the next one. This is quite important. Just see. Tair Bhaved Vishamastikshno Mandascharni Samai Sama, they said. Koshta Kruro Mrudur Madhyo Madhya Satahi Samayrapi, it is said. That means Agni division, they said. Koshta division, they said. Then he speaks Shukratavastaya Janmado Vishenyo Vishakane. So Tair Bhaved Vishamastikshno, he said, that is by them, that is Vatapitta Kapha, it happens the so and so Agni. Then by them, that means by those doshas, this Koshta becomes so and so. Now he is talking about the Prakriti. Now, while talking about Prakriti, Janmado word is used. Now, if you try to understand, apply Janmado word as an Anagata Vikshana Santrayukti and apply it to the Koshta and Agni as well, then Janmado, Agni, Janmado, Koshta will be a stable one, which do not fluctuate. That means if you are born with Tikshnagni, you will be Tikshnagni all the time. To change that as a Mandragni or Vishamagni, you have to take something. Or to make it Samagni, you have to take something. Once you stop that medicine or Ahara, then you will be going back to the Tikshnagni, which is your original one. And Koshta also. If your Koshta is Krura Koshta, you need more Snehana. To make it Mrudu Koshta, you need to take more Sneha and you have to make it Mrudu. Otherwise, if you are leaving off Sneha, you'll be going back to your Krura Koshta. So by effort you have to make. But if you are made with Mrudu Koshta since Janmado, then you will be Mrudu Koshti all the time. Then by reasons like Upavasa and all Rukshara Karma, then your Koshta becomes Krura. Otherwise, once you take little Sneha, your Koshta becomes Mrudu by default. So like that it is understood by using the Janmado word which is in the next sloka. If you are pulling it into Anagata Vikshana Tantrayukti, if you pull it to the previous sloka and try to relate it and understand, then it can be, such meanings can be derived. Other applications, next slide. Other applications, you can make it like Sapta Kalpana, we can use, and Artha Shreyas, we can adopt. Vyakhya Prakaras are there, Anloma Vyakhya, Prituloma Vyakhya, Pinda Vyakhya. There are different things which, due to limitations, I am not explaining. Tachilya has to be adopted and understood. These are the different methods we have to understand. The next one is the important one, that is Dhvanitartha. See, Dhvanitartha actually gives you an intense meaning, in fact. Very critical meaning it gets. This is, I'm talking about the Artha Avayavashana actually. See, in the context of Basti, the patient has to lie down in the Vama Parshva. And while giving the explanation about the Vama Parshva, he said, Vama Parshva, you have Agnisthana and it is the Grahani is present in that and etc. Okay, you know that after giving the Basti, the patient has to turn supine. And we expect that the Basti Dravya reaches the Vadasthana. So when as such okay. So while giving the basti, the person is asked to turn supine after giving the basti and expected that the basti dravya reaches the pakvashaya. Then we understand that when Vamaparshva, when it is administered, it is going to reach only to the descending colon. So descending colon it is going to reach, and when it is turned supine, we ensure that it doesn't come out. So because in the left lateral position, when the person knees and you are giving the basti, then the whatever the dravya you are pushing is sigmoid colon and maximum to the descending colon it is going to reach. That means that only is called as the pakvashya. That only is the vatasthana. The whole large intestine is not the vatasthana. Only the area where basti reaches, that is the vatasthana. And that vatasthana is connected with the rest of the vatassthanas across the body. These are the meanings we get while reading about the basti karma. And also it is said as agnisthana also. Agnisthana comes above. But vatasthana specifically, not the whole large intestine is vatasthana. It is only that area, that sigmoid as well as the descending colon, that area only is the vatasthana we can understand out of it. This is actually the Dhvanitartha. Then, while discussing about the Basti Netra, he discusses that according to the age, the length of the Basti Netra has to increase. So it has to Ashtangula Pramana, Dwadashangula Pramana, like that he starts saying, and as per the age it has to increase, he said. That means as per the age, why this Basti Netra has to increase? Because Guda Sharira also increases. That means Guda also grows in as per the age. That means right from the birth, from the first age till the 20th age, so the growth of the basti, growth of the Guda of the person is later ages, how the Basti Netra is increasing in its size, that is indicating the growth of the Guda also. That means developmental anatomy does explain. But he is explaining only the Basti Netra measurement. But Guda growth also we can infer out of this. This is indicating that Dhvanitartha we can get to know about the developmental anatomy, which is not directly explained. This is obscurely explained. It is hidden in the Shastra, which we are deriving out of the different meanings available, different explanations available in the different contexts. Like Basti Netra is explaining about the Guda Sharira. Arshas, he is explaining about the Guda Sharira. If we relate those two, we can understand the Sharira properly. Whereas that is not explained in the Sharirasthana. Okay, like this we can understand. One more thing is about the Daiva and Purushakara Karma. Whereas Daiva is the one which is previously done. Purushakara is the one which presently we are doing it. So Purushakara, this presently what we are doing becomes the Daiva in the very next moment, because that becomes a part of the past. So whatever we have done previously, that is the Daiva. What presently we are doing is the Purushakara. So presently what we do becomes a history very next moment. That means whatever we do, that is going to be added as a Daiva Karma later. Like that, it is to be understood. These are the Dhvanitartha. So Dhvanitartha next further continued. Another important point. Na vegam dhare dhiman jatan motra purishiyoho. He is trying to say that Vega Dharana should not be done. This is the general what we understand. But the word he has used here, Jatan Vegana Dharana. So what we understand, the Vega which has originated should not be controlled. But the Dharaniya Vegas, what they have said, that is Manasika Vegas also they have said, that is also originating only. That the person is getting the happiness or the sorrow, anger, everything. They are also originating. The person won't be having it all the time. The person gets that at times only at the availability of some reason. He is getting that. That means that Manasika Vegas are also the Jata Vegas only. By this, what we understand, na vegan dhare dhiman jatan. So, na dhiman jatan vegan na dharayet. Jata vega should be controlled. So, by this, dhvanitartha is the manasika vega also, once it has come out, that should not be controlled. Then what is dharaniya vega? Dharaniya vega means we have to control it from their origin only. That anger should not come to you at all. That kama should not come to you at all. Krodha should not come to you at all. So such type of vega should not origin at all. Dharaniya vega means that one. Dharaniya vega doesn't mean that you're getting anger and you're controlling it. Because it is Jata vega actually. Jata vega should not be controlled. What to do with the Jata vega, that is apart. But Jata vega, he is not talking about controlling. Ajata vega, that means the vega should be controlled from the origination only. That means the Krodha Adi, Manasa vega should not come at all. Like that he is talking about. That is the Dharaniya vega. This is the Dhvanitartha out of that word, single word Jata. So like that we understand. Next one. He uses another technique of Alankara. Like Romanyetani Jayante Lepat Palpani Taleshwati. You heard about this shloka very repeatedly. That while talking about the Hastidantamasi, in Vranachikitsa, he has explained in Sushruta, Romanyetani Jayante Lepat Pani Taleshwati. That means if you apply this Hastidantamasi over the Panitala also, you will get the Roma. So some people may argue that this is not how it is possible. There are no hair follicles at all in the pani. Then how it can come out? This is a wrong statement. Hyper it is. Actually, this is a hyper only. That is Utpreksha Alankara he has used. He is trying to indicate the importance of that Hastidantamasi, how powerful it is to indicate that he is making the Utpreksha. He is trying to exaggerate it and say that even if you apply over the Panitala also, you will get the Kesha, Roma. Doesn't mean that Panitala it will get the Roma. But he is trying to make it a good Preksha. So don't try applying it over the Pani. You won't get the hair. This is just an Alankara he is using. And just like Jalam Nimna Divar Sthalat, while talking about the Urustamba, just like Jala in Nimna Sthala, that means in a depression, if water is collected, how it is. These are upama or the upamana as a pramana. These are used as the alankara in the Shastra. We have to understand very identical nature of that, the situation of explanation as well as the upama. Why he is comparing it with the Jalam Nimna Divastala? Why he is comparing and giving it? Because we can compare it wholly and we can understand how it is difficult to take out the Jala out of that depressed area. That means a small depression on the ground, if water is collected, it is not easy to take out. Just like that, dosha cannot be taken out in Urustamba. It is not easy by the Shodhana. While explaining the difficulty to remove out the dosha from the Uru Pradesha, he has compared it using the Upama. This is an Alankara he is using. Then Uttara Alankara, that means, as you know, without Shishya being asked, Guru being asked by Shishya, Guru doesn't explain. Athato Dirgan Jiviti Madhyam he is telling. That means why Guru started? Because previously Shishya has asked him, but that question is not placed in our chapter as a Uttara Alankara, as when he asked about Ayurveda, he started explaining it. This is the Uttara Alankara he is using. Go to the next one. So there are the points which are connected to the Jyotisha. Like Graheshu Anuguneshu Ekadosha Margo Nama Sukha, while talking about the Sukha Sadhya Vadi, Graheshu Anuguneshu. So Anuguna Graha it should be. So some people have in their Jyotisha, the In their horoscope, it is Alpayu Lakshana, it is already mentioned as per the Grahagatis, as per the placement of the different Graha as per his horoscope. So that itself is indicating whether he is Dirghayu, Purnayu, or Alpayu. So that Lakshana we have to examine in the person, that's apart. But Jyotisha explains it about the Ayu Pramana. Like Dasha, Mahadasha, Sandhi, or any other Kantaka, that is any problems are occurring, they are indicated in Jyotisha. That also we have to understand, realize about the existence of this disease. This is not explained everything in our classics. We have to go for the Anya Tantras actually. We have to go other Tantras and relate it to. So which is not explained very detailed in our Shastra. Next is the Vyakarana. Focus, because this is also important here. The Avagaha Sveda, you heard about it. The different types of Sveda. Sankara Prastaro Nadi Parisheko Avagahanam, it is said. Avagaha means what we literally mean is about the tub bath. A tub should be prepared, the kasha should be put in, and the person has to lay down in that, and the person should get the Svedan out of it. We understand it. But actually, Avagaha word is derived out of Gahu Vilodani Dhatu. Vilodana is indicating that there should be a movement of the jala. Just like the stirring, we are mixing that sugar to the milk and stirring, no? Like that. The stirring is called as the Vilodana. So Avagaha means here the jala or the kashaya or the Ushadha Dravya which you put in the tub should be moving. That is understood by the dhatu. This is where Vyakarana you are adopting. Otherwise, Avagaha means what we do. The patients will be asked to sit in a tub. That's all. Whether it is moving or not, we don't matter. It is not an actual way we understand. Gahu Vilodane is explaining that there should be the kashaya which should be moving, preferably in the area towards the affected area. That kashaya or the Ushadravya should be repeatedly moving. That means just like a wave, if low backache is there, then low back should be continuously hit by that moving kashaya dravya. Like that we understand by using the Vyakarana. Vachana, if we try to take the example, Pliha Puppusa word is used while talking about the different organs. Pliha is one, Puppusa is one, so Dvivachana they have used. Pliha Puppusa. But Puppusa, as we know, there are two lungs we have. But why he is using only Dvivachana for Pliha Puppusa? Pliha is one organ, we know. Puppusa is one organ. We understand that among these two lungs, only one is called as Puppusa. Another is called something else, which is a separate subject. Only one is called as Puppusa. Another one is not called as Puppusa. We understand this is a part of Sharira. In fact, Pliha is the one, Puppusa is the one only. So this is the Dvivachana he has used. He did not use the Bahuvachana here. Bahuvachana, if he had used, then multiple meaning will come. But it is not so. Only Dvivachana means there are only two, Pliha and Puppusa. Means Puppusa is only one. Another one is something else maybe. Like that, we understand. While in Charirasthana, Sushruta says, Bahavaha word he uses for the Atma. Then, by looking into Bahuvachana, what we understand, he is not talking about the Paramatma, he is talking about the Jivatma. Like that, Bahavaha word is used. So, Bahuvachana, when he is using, we understand it is something, not one, it is something multiple he is talking about. So, Jivatma. So, the Vibhakti usefulness. Tata Sneha Mruto Koshtena Tishtanti Anilamaya. It is said. So by the Sneha, when Mrutu Koshta occurs, like the Tritiya Vibhakti, when we adopt it and see, then we understand by the Sneha, when Mrutu Koshta is attained, then Anilamaya won't stay. That means you have to do the Snehana prayers. This is how the Vibhakti, Vachana, Dhatu and all are used. There are few things like Pratyayas, usefulness we are going to discuss. Detailed Vyakarana I am not going to deal. So, regarding that Upasarga, how it is going to be useful. The next slide. Harane. Harana means to catch hold of or to snatch or to take away, to pick, like that the meaning comes. Here, Harana is the one word, whereas pra or a or the sam or the pari or the upasarga. Prahara, ahara, samhara, parihara, like the different word comes, whereas for all these, root is the hrimharane. Prahara gives us a different meaning, to beat. Ahara is a different meaning, as you know, it is the food. Samhara means to kill. Parihara means to save. So samhara is about harana of the life actually. Parihara means to save, to pick him up from the danger. That means to save him. Parihara. Like that, the upasarga applicability gives the different meanings. Likewise, one more. Karsha vilekhane, what is there? As you know, prakarshati, vikarshati, akarshati, apakarshati, there are different meanings. So we will see just one example I have given in the next slide. That prakarshati, that means Adnamadana karmatu prana postam prakarshati. Like that, he uses the word. Here, pra means before. Vikarshati, next slide please. Vikarshati. Tikshner vikarshite swadu pratyastapana mishyate. Like that, he uses the word vikarshana. Then akarshana, that is tatta hrudyabhite kloma karshanam. Like that, he uses the word akarshana. Then apakarshana, he uses the word kevalam vikarakaram dosham apakarshati. Like that, the meaning differs. Though the krusha vilekane is used, karshana means to drag or pull, but pra, vi, a, and apa, they are the different upasargas which are giving out the different meanings. Go to the next. Yeah. Likewise, there are various grammatical aspects which I am not dealing here about the linga, vachana, pratyaya, dhatu. I gave an example already. Samasa and dashalakaras are also to be understood. Then about authenticating by the cross-reference. Go to the next slide, please. Parishilanam, that is authenticating by cross-reference. Here, authenticating is of two ways. Below I have given Samana Tantra Pratyaya and Paratantra Pratyaya. Samana Tantra Pratyaya means comparing it with the similar classics actually. That means if Ashtanga your sloka you are reading, then just check it with the Charaka as well as Sushruta. But Paratantra Pratyaya means you have to compare with those textbooks which are not Ayurveda, which are related to Vastu or Jyotishya, Dharma Shastra, or any other related Shastra, which for what you want to gain more meaning. Like if Beshajagara has to be done or Yoshitagara you have to make it, for them this that Agara has to be built in this way, like that it is mentioned. But we don't get the more description regarding this. We have to go for the Vastu Shastra. So we are going for the Paratantra Pratyaya for that. Here Parishilanam, authenticating by the cross-referencing. I have given one example. Yatkinchit doshamutkesha na haritat samasataha viruddham, like that Ashtanga says. Whereas Charaka says, Yatkinchit doshamasravya na nirparati kayata ahara jatam tat sarvam ahitayota padyate. The context is about the viruddhahar. Charaka says, ahara jatam tat sarvam. Charaka says, whatever is ahara jata, all those are viruddhas, like that he says. Sushruta says, Yatkinchit doshamutkesha bhuktam kayana nirharet. Rasadisha ayathartam va tad vikaraya kalpate. That means bhuktam he used. Whatever is consumed, Sushruta is telling. Whereas Charaka is telling ahara. But Vagbhata is not specifying it as either ahara or aushata. Yatkinchit doshamutleshya na nirharati, na haret tat samasataha. Whatever is making the dosha utlesha and not making harana, everything is viruddha according to Vagbhata. Whereas it is ahara jata according to Sushruta. According to Charaka. Whereas Sushruta specifies one thing, rasadisha ayathartam, which is not in accordance with the rasadi dhatu. All those are called as the viruddha. Like that, collectively we can get the meaning in comparison. So collectively we can understand and authenticate the meaning. Though Charaka has specified ahara jatam, Vagbhata has specified everything which is dosha utlesha which does and doesn't make harana. Everything is viruddha. Like that, Vagbhata says. Like that, we can authenticate by the cross-referencing. The next one, I think the next one is the last one. In my presentation, actually, not the actual, the last method of getting the meaning. So certain meanings are not understood by just reading the slokas. The shloka displayed as Visheshato Vitpata Sampravratte Payomatam Mocharasena Siddham Vatavarohair Vatashunkairva Hribera Nilotpala Nagarairva Kashaya Yogan Payasapurava Pitva Anushadya Payaseva Shali. Now in the last line he says Kashaya Yoge Rathava Vipakvam Etayehi Pibet Satya Ati Srave Cha. In Atisrava of the Rakta, in Rakta Pitta, when blood is going out through Purisha, then what has to be done? He is telling. First, Kashaya Yoga with milk, it has to be taken. Then with milk and Shali has to be consumed. Like that he said. That means Kashaya Yoga has to be given as the Prad Bhakta. Whereas in the last line, using the same dravya, you have to prepare the sarpi and should be taken, he said. But how it has to be taken? We don't know. Whether it has to be taken as ahara, it has to be taken as a Prad Bhakta, just like he said just before. That is not clear here. Then such things have to be administered to the patient and seen. Not everything is done by the only the Shastra Adhyayana. These are the different ways we can make it. So to conclude, next slide please. Trivida Shishya Buddhi is applicable for the Vakyarthashaha. That means Vakyashaha is the base for everyone, all the three types. If Vakyashaha you don't understand, then you are nowhere. Then there are multiple steps to understand, which have been indicated by the Acharya themselves. And in Artha Durgama should be critically applied and understood. And correlation with the contemporary text is essential to understand accurate meaning. And it is more important to apply the meaning, and that means adopt that practically. Maybe if chikitsa, if they are talking about, then we have to adopt that chikitsa in the patient and it has to be brought into practice, and then we have to understand. Otherwise, simply by the Shastra Adhyayana, nothing works out. Whatever meaning you have derived, that has to be observed in the patient, then the Artha will get more sharper. Okay. So I salute my Guru and I thank the management as well as the principal, Dr. K.C. Das sir. I thank the head of the department, Dr. Sajjan Shetty sir, my senior only, and my another senior, Dr. B.H. Katti sir, and other colleagues including Dr. Kanoli and all other faculty members of college, SVMAMC College ILKAL, as well as all the participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I have displayed that mail ID and my phone number. If anyone has to ask in later times also, they can communicate. We can make a discussion regarding that. And that number is a WhatsApp number. You can ask me through WhatsApp also. Just mention your institution as well as your name.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Shall we move for the discussion, sir?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Anybody want to discuss any points in the today's session, please mention or can talk yourself with unmute.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
When we come to Vega Dharana, Jata Vega na Dharayet, you said, no, sir?
Yeah.
So, in case of Manasika, Mana Vegas, like Krodha, etc., Santosha or happiness or anger, whatever. So, once it is generated, it has to be expressed, you say. Jata Vega na Dharayet. So, what is the difference between Jata Vega na Dharayat and controlling the urge? Once it is generated, we have to control, isn't it? We cannot express it in front of others once you generate it. Jata Vega na Dharayat, if you say, we need to express it in front of them. So, is it like, yeah, then where is the question of controlling Vegas or to do Dharana of the same?
It is like we should maintain our emotions or our feelings so that it should not be like in any sukha we are expressing our happiness, in dukkha we are expressing our sorrow. It is like in all conditions we should have a balanced mind, it is said, as you know. That means even in sukha we should not be exaggerating ourselves by over happiness or happiness in general, or we should not get that sorrowness when we are in trouble. That means we should maintain that controlled mind. He is talking about that one particularly. That means Jata Vega we cannot control, we should not be. Jata Vega when happiness has come already to you, then you are not supposed to control that also. When anger or something like Manasa Vegas come, that he is not talking about controlling. I just specified while explaining that what to do with that Jata Vega is secondary. That means if already happiness has come to you directly in Sukha, then that's apart. You cannot control. And Dukkha has come, then you are not supposed to control. But what they are meaning about Dharaniya Vega was the point. What Dharaniya Vega they are talking about? Dharaniya Vega means that Vega should be controlled from their origin. In fact, not the Vegas which have already originated. So Jata Vega, that means once the Vega has already originated, that Dharana he is not talking. The Dharana of the Vega right from its origin. That means from getting origin itself, it has to be controlled. That means it may be Sukha or Dukkha, the person has to maintain the same pace of his mind. Then he will be away from the diseases, actually. So this is actually Na Vegan Dharaniya, all these are actually explained as a part of preventive aspects only. So when the Vega comes out directly, then you are not under any safety of that preventive aspects and all. But if such emotions don't come at all to you, then you are totally spared from any problems. That is what he is trying to explain in that word Jata. This is the Dvanitartha actually. So what directly we understand is, if anger comes, you have to control. Okay, if anger comes to you and you are controlling it, thus we are getting so many other problems, right? So if we are getting happiness and we are controlling it, thus our emotions are hidden inside. So people are getting anxiety or other mental illnesses because of hidden emotions in them. What if
Yes.
such emotions don't come at all? For that reason, Dharaniya Vega means it is about controlling from their origin itself, not to control the originated ones. Like that here explained.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. One more question is there, sir.
Yeah.
Should we use Vakya Shesha Tantra Yukti in Ashtanga Hridaya Shloka on Viruddha Dravya?
Viruddha, which one? You just displayed that one?
Can I repeat once again, sir?
Yeah, I understood.
Okay,
That
sir.
means yat kinchit doshamutlesha na hare tat samasatah viruddham. Here, Vakya Shesha Tantra Yukti, definitely we can use it. It is not that it cannot be used, but he is not leaving it off by telling halfway. Vakya Shesha means halfway he is telling and leaving off for rest of the things to understand. Like rasa should be used. Then we understand it as Mams Rasa. So that Mamsa word he is not using, he is using only the Rasa word. So Mamsa Rasa we understand by completing it. Like that, such things are actually not given here. Yatkinchit dosha mutlesha na hare tat samasatah viruddham. Samasatah means all those which are making yatkinchit dosha, whichever is making dosha utlesha and not making harana, all these are viruddha. So, but he is not specifying what are those. Vakya Shesha, when we apply, it can be Ahara Dravya, it can be Aushadha Dravya. Both are coming under this one. That's why Ashtanga Hridaya stands different compared to Charaka. Because Charaka says Ahara Jatam Tat Sarvam. But Vagpata, by the Vakya Shesha Tantra Yukti, you can take it as Ahara Jatam or Aushadha Jatam. Both are included under this one, and whichever is making the dosha utlesha but doesn't make any harana, then all those are viruddha. So that way, Vakya Shesha Tantra Yukti, when we use it, definitely we can understand more better in Ashtanga Hridaya Shloka.
Thank you, sir. One more question is there, sir.
Yeah.
Can I proceed for the next question, sir?
Yes, sir.
From YouTube, there is a question. In Sushruta, describing hurt, how to attribute meaning for Jagratatat Vikasati Sapatascha Nimilati.
Huh.
Shall I repeat, sir?
Yeah, please.
In Sushruta, describing hurt, how to attribute meaning for Jagratat Vikasati Sapatascha Nimilati.
So they are asking the meaning of this one or what?
How to attribute the meaning, sir?
Yeah, okay. See, they are talking about the Hridaya there. While talking about Hridaya, Jagratasthad Vikasati Sapatascha Nimilati, they are. That means in Jagrata Avastha, Vikasana happens for the Hridaya, whereas in Swapna Avastha, Nimilana happens here. So here, some people have understood as applied meaning as Jagrataha Swapatascha Vikasati Nimilati. Like that, some people make the understanding. That means they attribute it for the actual functioning of the Hridaya, functioning only. That means physical functioning, beating of the Hridaya. Some people I'm talking about, they adopt it as Jagrataha Swapatascha Vikasati Nimilati. It means S1, S2, what you hear, that means contraction and relaxation, that is Vikasana, Nimilana happens even during Jagrata Avastha, even during the Swapna Avastha, like that some people mean. So there is another meaning for this one. Jagrataha tad vikasati swapatascha nimilati, because Hridaya is not getting Vikasana or Nimilana only physically. It is actually functionally, if you understand. Then in Jagrata Avastha, Hridaya opens up. That means Hridaya is the sthana for Manas also, Indriya also, Indriya Buddhi also, all these are the Ashrita in Hridaya. In Jagrata Avastha, all these get connected with each other. Because in Swapna Avastha, as you know, when these are disconnected only, that means Indriya and Indriyarthas are disconnected with each other, then the person sleeps. And in Jagrata Avastha, sudden establishment of the connection happens between these, and person comes to the Jagrata Avastha. When the connectivity happens, the person gets awakened. Like that, Vikasana Nimilana also. If you try to understand it more further, like if these connections establish at the specific kala, like if you get up in a specific kala, then Vikasana of the Hridaya happens in that specific kala. For example, in Brahma Muhurta. In Brahmi Muhurta, if the person gets up, that kala is of a Sattvika kala, in fact. As in when the day reaches the noon, move towards the noon, it becomes more of a Rajasa kala. And as in when the Dina moves more towards the evening, it becomes the Tamasa kala. So earlier the time you get up, more of a Sattva kala it will be. So as per the kala, your Hridaya, which is a Manasthana, which is a Indriya Adhisthana, it is. Shiras is also Adhisthana, Manas is also, Hridaya is also Adhisthana. Buddhi Adhisthana it is. All these are getting activated in the Sattvika Kala, which is Brahmi Muhurta. When the person gets up in Sattvika Kala, the tendency of that person to become more and more Sattvika is more. The person becomes more and more Sattvika as and when he gets up in the Sattvika Kala. And if he is getting up more towards the noon, like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, if he is getting up, then he tends to become more and more Rajasa because Hridaya gets Jagrata, Hridaya gets Vikasana and starts perceiving the Artha at the Rajasa Kala, so which is not actually good. The person set is expected to be more and more Sattvika, which is actually good for prevention of the disease also. So when the person is getting up as early as possible, if you have observed our Charaka Sharira, in that different kayas have been explained. Sattvika kaya, Rajasika kaya, Tamasika kayas have been explained. In that the first one is the Brahma kaya, next one is the Arsha kaya. So the kala also influences those kaya according to the timing scheduled. So as early as possible, that means starting from the Brahmi Muhurta, then onwards, it is more and more influencing on your kaya. So more as and when you get up earlier, that is specific to the Brahmi Muhurta, you are moving towards the Brahma kaya. So that the Hridaya opens up at that time, Vikasana happens at that time, and thus the perception starts at that time. Kala Prabhava is making that Manas also to develop the Sattvika Kaya more and more. Hence, Jagratas tad Vikasati, Swapatascha Nimilati. Once the person goes for Swapna, then suddenly all these Indriya and Indriyarthas are disconnected and the perception stops at that time. So hence, Hridaya also stops perception. If that establishment of link is partially still existing, then the person starts developing that perceptions from surroundings. When that Indriyarthas are disconnected, only mind is active. At that time, person will be observing the Swapna, that means observing the dreams. Whereas when he is totally into the depth of the sleep, then everything is shut down. Then it is Nimilana, complete Nimilana. Hence, it has to be understood as in relation to the Kala. And it is not simply the physical activity of the Hridaya, that is Vikasana, Nimilana, even during the day and night. That means it will be beating, heart will be beating all the time, even when he is sleeping, when he is awake. This is not actually the right meaning. Right meaning is what we discussed just now about the perception of its arthas, Vikasana and Nimilana. Hope it is understood.
Thank you, sir. Any more want to discuss the points for the participants? There is no any question, sir.
Okay, if
Shall
anyone
you-
has that phone number and mail ID is there, they can communicate.
Yes, sir. It's here. For the communications with the sir, there is an email ID and the phone number is there.
No, that's a WhatsApp number. You can WhatsApp.
Thank you. Shall we move for the end of the session, sir, with your kind permission?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon to all. Today we completed the 22nd day of the National Webinar Series 2, Samprapodana 2020, with the 22nd lecture with the topic of Artha Vinishchayakrama in Samhita Adhyayana by Dr. Sri Nagesh K.A. Sir, the Professor and the HOD, Department of PG Studies in Samhita Siddhanta, Sri College of Ayurvedic Sciences and the Research Hospital, Bangalore. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
As we know, Shanashaha Kanakashchaiva Vidyam Artham cha Sadayeta, Shanatyage Krute Vidya, Kanatyage Krute Dhanam. A knowledge should be gained through minute by minute effort. Money should be earned utilizing each and every resource. If you waste the time, how can you get the knowledge? If you waste the resources, how can you accumulate the wealth? So today we had a great session with Samhita Adhyayana Vidhi with Sir. Sir had explained nicely. Thank you for that one. It is the end of today's session. We'll move towards the vote of thanks. I requesting Dr. Vivek Garudu sir for the vote of thanks. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, one and all. Today we are at the end of 22nd day and 22nd lecture of National Webinar Series 2, Samprapodana 2020 by eminent personality, Dr. Sri Nagesh K.A. Sir, Professor and HOD, Department of Samhita Siddhanta, Sri College of Ayurvedic Sciences and Research Hospital, Bangalore. Sir, we are very impressed by your very valuable knowledge, whatever you have given. As there is a notion in Sanskrit, there is a song in Sanskrit, Surasa Subhoda Vishwamanodya, Lalita Hridya Ramaniya, Amritavani Samskrita Bhasha, Naiva Klishta Nachakatina. The mother of all the languages, that is Sanskrit. So without the knowledge of Sanskrit Bhasha, an Ayurvedic physician is incomplete. So to become an Ayurvedic physician, Sanskrit knowledge is very, very important. That you have justified, sir. So we are very thankful. And also one more quotation is explained in Sushruta Samhita. Yastu bhedno matiman sa samartho artha sadhane ahave karma nirvodam dvichakraha sandhanuyatha. In the Adhyayana Sampradhani Adhyaya, Sushruta Acharya explains that to become a successful Sorry, sir. Sorry for the connection problem. Well, sir. Kanuri, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, it is audible, sir.
कन्नड़ सर
Yes, sir.
सर ಯಾಕೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ರಿ
So it's disconnected from their side, sir.
ಆಯ್ತು ನೀವು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರಿ ಸರ್ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ
Okay, sir.
ಅವ್ರು ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀವೇ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊರಿ
Okay. Sorry for the inconvenience. So it's the end of today's session with vote of thanks. First and the foremost, in my privilege to thank with the blessing of His Holiness Sriman Niranjana Pranavasarupi Guru Mahanta Swamiji. As the event series has continued with his blessing, thank you, Dhanyavadaha. I thank to our SVM Vidyavardhaka Sanghas, Chairman, Secretary, all the board members for providing an opportunity and supporting, being the guide in the conducting a national webinar series to Samprabodhana 2020. Thank you, SVM VV Sanghas. I thank to our today's speaker, Dr. Sri Nagesh K.A., Sir, Professor and HOD, Department of PG Studies in Samhita Siddhanta, Sri College of Ayurvedic Sciences and Research Hospital, Bengaluru. Sir had provided, given a talk on Artha Vinishchayakrama in Samhita Adhyayana. The Adhyayana, Adhyapana, Tadida Sambhasha. These are the three tools to understand the Samhita. Sir had nicely explained each of the words with its meaning, how to apply the Samhita, Pada Vibhaga, Pada Anvaya, Arthanvaya, and Bhavartha. At lastly, concluding with the how to gain the meaning of the shloka, shlokartha, bhavartha, and where to apply in the clinical and the literary of the Samhita. Thank you, sir, for getting sharing of your knowledge with us. Thank you, sir. I thank our event president, Dr. K.C. Dasa, the principal and the professor, SVMAMC and the PG Research Center for his kind support and advice and being the backbone of the National Webinar Series 2, Samprabodhana 2020. Thank you, sir. I thank our event organizer, Dr. Mahantesh R. Sajjan Shetty, sir, the professor and the HOD, Department of PG Studies in Samhita Siddhanta, SVMAMC and the PG Research Center, ILKAL. And one more, Dr. B.H. Katti, sir, the professor, Department of PG Studies in the Samhita Siddhanta, SVMAMC and the PG Research Center, ILKAL. Thank you both of the organizers for the organizing, knowledge enhancing National Webinar Series 2, Samprabodhana 2020. I thank to the event coordinator for the conducting and helping in the National Webinar Series 2, Samprabodhana 2020. Thank you. I extend a thank to all the teaching staff, non-teaching staff, and the PG and the UG scholars, internees of the SVMAMC and the PG Research Center, ILKAL, for being the part of the today's session and the supporting for the conducting the national level webinar series 2, Samprabodhana 2020. Thank you. I thank to the Department of PG Studies in the Samhita Siddhanta, Sri College of Ayurvedic Sciences and Research Hospital, Bengaluru. Thank you for being the part of the today's session in the national level webinar series 2, Samprabodhana 2020. Thank you. I extend a thank to all the teachers, PG scholars of UG scholars of other institutions, our institutions, especially SDM College of Ayurveda and Hospital, Udupi, the PG Department of Samhita Siddhanta, SDM College of Ayurveda and Hospital, Udupi, Sri Sri Ayurveda College of and Hospital, Bengaluru, SVM Ayurvedic Medical College, ILKAL, for being the part of the today's participants. Thank you all the participants. And I thank to the participants in the YouTube. Lastly, I thank to the people who helped directly, indirectly in organizing and conducting this national webinar series 2, Sampradana 2020. Thank you one and all. Dhanyavadha.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We can end the session, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.